We're ready to go. There we go. Okay, welcome everyone to the 43rd Health Teaching Workshop of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. It's Tuesday, October 13th, 2015, and we're ready to go with Mr. Keshe here. Got a bit of a special presentation lined up, I believe, with Carolina. And so, are you ready there, Mr. Keshe?
Yes, good afternoon. This teaching of the health section is very short today because we had a long time with the Chinese. It was part of still the same teaching to do with the man and the energy. What I explained this morning in the teaching is as we are going into the plasma condition with the matter and what we call GANs, there is I was not aware of the communication, but I came aware of it last night. And I explained to Caroline what she was explaining to Sandor, and she was telling me before, was discussing with Armand and Marco, is something that to understand the work of the plasma, we need to know. And as we have other teachers and other people who understand different way, to be able to structure physicality of the man, to understand it, is maybe we have to look at another dimension, another direction. And in a way, as we all know, I call the point of the creation of this planet the Caroline core because of the position. And on the other hand is the name of Caroline, which we all know. But she's been around with me for 20 odd years. So she knows more than anybody else how I feel and how I think about the whole lot than just teaching. And what it means to bring it together. The discussion is not so much about the health, it's so much how we bring the integrity of the whole plasma together to lead to the physicality that the health, looking after it, becomes part of. So I'm going to shut down, I'm going to move away, and maybe we look at a different way for the first time by a woman teacher. After Sandy, we lost Sandy to the Americans. She's happy being away. So we like to look at the different angle of the whole structure of the Keshe Foundation, the school of thought by somebody who looks at it totally different than a lot of us do. Because we look for systematic, women look for emotion of how things is and what we miss on. So I think as part of the teaching of the Keshe worldwide, we have to listen and, as we all do, respect the position of others' thinking and why Caroline is so emotional about this to be understood by a lot of people. So I leave it to you. You're going to teach, and I'm going to become a student after years. You're going to be able to clear. Put it there. Cool. I can't put it anywhere else.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, everybody. Finally, he has given me the room to talk. But I'm grateful because I've been working a lot beside him. It's a totally different experience than being in public, listening, hearing, knowing what's going on in the background. And I picked up because I'm among the students. I hear their confusion, I hear their problems, I hear what they could or could not understand. So I work from my point of feeling to try to share, to give them an easier way to sort something which is not difficult. And the difficulty was you're so concentrated in the teachings, you hear so much, you get so much and too fast. So it's very difficult to go in an easier way because Mr. Kesh always said, the man in Africa will be able to do and create and will go much faster than the Western world. The problem is we are too materialistic. We are too focused to survive in our habits of computers, electricity bills, cars, and all sorts of things. So what I keep on having as a feedback is, I have a problem. I said, you don't have a problem. I said, all the problems, you just put a key on it, you lock the door, and you put them aside. When you can sort them, don't feed any more energy because you can't sort them now. So stop losing energy, save your energy, and go forward and look what is available to sort. The state of being able to travel, as Mr. Kesh is trying to explain as a plasma, I am so sorry he wiped the board out because it was exactly there. You carry the course, you carry the energy. He always said, I created you in the image of myself. So you carry the spark of the energy. It's just how are you going to open it up? Not the difficult way, not with fear, not with your problems, but with your energy. So you have to save energy to tap into your real energy, to become transparent, to come like a diamond, because he has not told you why you're going to take this journey. This journey is for everybody to go and become teachers in the universe, right across, because we carry one beautiful gift, which we've seen it in the movies, we've seen it in documentaries, we've seen it in stories, and especially Disney always put it as something very special. And that is you love, you care, you share, and especially when it comes down to your own bloodline. You will jump in front of a truck if you can save your child. So that energy you have, you know it, you feel it. So use it. So ignore your problems which you can't sort out today. Just move them away. You have more energy to become what you want to become, what you need to become. I have had a lot of feedback in trying to guide you where to look for, how to get into this tapping of this energy. It's been done before, it's been done everywhere around the world. But it's like secret groups just working among them. They don't share. They're getting trained. Oh, I know this, I know that, I know this, I can do this. I said, why don't you come and teach? Because a lot of people are not aware of it, and it's not difficult. Because the only thing which is holding you back is fear that you're not capable of doing it. But you can. You can come to the level of transparency by just using your own love, caring, and sharing. The more you give, the more you receive. So it's not difficult. It's just finding the right way how to do it. So stop worrying about your problems, which is just materialistic, your financial. When you focus your love even to an animal, it responds straight away. When you focus your love to somebody you love, it comes back. You feel good. So I've been seeing people which are saying, I have a problem. I said, no, you don't have. Just calm down. Use your energy to create the field which Mr. Kesh is trying to explain, or the scientific way, or through your feelings. Generate that feeling of calm, sharing, loving, knowing you can do it. And I always remember one little story, that is the fear. People which are scared of water, they can walk 10 years around the swimming pool, but they will never jump because they're scared they're going to drown. But it only takes 10 seconds to jump, to know you come back up, so you don't drown. And that's it's only 10 seconds. So when we are going to travel and become teachers, it's because we have something so beautiful we can share, which is the loving, the caring, the feeling, the emotion. We only have to stop using the other side. She keeps on repeating, you cannot steal. You cannot be coming with something, because through becoming in the state of transparency, you know what your intentions are. You can't hide them. So it's going to be very hard to maintain that level, because we are not used to, we are not taught. And all the ones which have reached it have never used it the right way, because they don't share. They actually are misusing it instead of sharing it the way it should be. We are all capable, because we are all carrying the reactors. We can all activate them. We can all use it. We can all express it. And exchange for that gift what we carry, which is our purpose to live here, is in exchange they will teach us what we don't know yet. So don't be scared you're going to lose or you're going to leave something behind, because here he confirmed this morning, you can carry whatever you need, whatever you want. And you have the energy and the capacity to bring the people which are struggling, to bring them up to your own level. Because the more you give, the more you share, the more they receive. And then it's like a snowball effect. So you become stronger, you become more balanced. And I've seen a few people responding and saying, I think I can do it. I said, of course you can do it. You just need to have the steadfast, that there is no fear and there is unconditional love. We can grow in it by teaching each other. So I hope there are more people coming into public to support what I'm trying to pass on, that everybody can do it. You don't need years of training. You just need to know yourself that you can do it. And I invite all the teachers which have gone through these years of training to, they know they have reached the level, but why do they keep silent? It's not so difficult to teach. And don't get confused about the indoctrination of the way you've been brought up. Don't. You carry it just explained to you, all of it. You carry everything you need. You just have to stop cheating yourself, cheating other people, and become in balance. Because you can do it. You're a gift to the whole universe. Because you have the energy to show what we have nourished here is the love and the care, and that is easy to teach. You just have to tap into it. And I hope every day I will see other people which say, oh, I've been taught this when I was young and I now remember that, to come forward and to teach, to help, to share, because that's the way we're going to live. No other way. And this is something Mr. Kesh told me 20 years ago. Because I asked him, I said, why do we have to live? He says, your purpose is to teach what the other beings don't know or not aware of or have not developed. And in exchange, you will get another gift. So it's continuously sharing, giving. And the more you give, the more you receive. So it's all up to us how many people we will reach through the teachings, through helping, through sharing. Because the more people we get to this level, the more people will be added the right way. And if we can achieve to take everybody, because every single one carries the same seed of the origin, so we can reach every single soul. Because we can bring them through our energy, through our intention, to the level which we need, we want them to be, to come and share and to travel with us. We don't need to leave anybody behind. Because the animals are already there, the plants are already there, and the minerals are already there. Because they already share and they already freely give. They're always there to greet you, they're always there to give. It's only the humans that need to learn to stop. Think before you do. You're capable because you already carry it. I created you in the image of myself. Keeps on getting repeated. You carry it, so use it right. And transparency means shining like a diamond, have no shadow that you might be wanting to do something else, or your intentions are not the way they should be. That's what it means. Shine, transparent means your intentions are clear. They know you're there for what you want to give. You need, you will be given. He keeps on repeating. So if the East opens its doors and the West opens its doors and they mix and they give to each other, most probably tomorrow in the teachings, they already know the basics. They already understand the basics. They already know how to apply it. They already know how to do it. So if we merge all these energies, we will be able to do it. And I hope by putting some notes through Messenger and then later on through my Facebook, there are enough sources where you can find to tap into this energy, how to learn to tap it in. It's just bring yourself up. Don't think wrong, don't do wrong, don't feel wrong, correct your thinking, your interaction with people, choose, continuously choose. It becomes a habit. But with this habit, you become more and more aware that you lose your problems, you lose your wrong, you lose your what you're not supposed to do. Just have to train yourself continuously. We just have to ignite what is already in here. And he kept on repeating, he says, go back to the emotion, go back to the feeling, how you fall in love the first time. That is the feeling you have to try to maintain. You have to be aware of continuously unconditioned. Because if I give you this, but I put the thought, I have to get something back for it, that doesn't work. You give and you let it go. And that's how it creates new and gives you more. But you have to up-level yourself to continuously create that energy that it grows. Be aware if you stand in front of somebody or you talk to somebody, it's the right way. And you will grow and you will go up. So I don't know if anybody has a question or would like to have some more information about it. I don't know if there are any questions appearing anywhere, Marco.
Caroline, thank you. That was beautiful. Caroline, do you hear me?
Yes, I can.
When you were saying that there's people out there that you want them to come forward to let down their fear, I'm wondering how to phrase the question. Do you feel that they feel that in some way the environment doesn't support them to come forward?
No. If I analyze the way they respond, is the first thing is fear. I need to be invited to be able to. I said, I invite you. And then they still say, no, no, no. I said, but you are expressing to me that you're capable, you have the certificates. Why don't you come in the open and share it? Because we have enough room, we can create enough space to teach. I have a very bad experience with like people from the ashrams. They are all trained to use this energy and they're capable of using it. Why do you have to go in the first place to an ashram? Secondly, when you have been in an ashram and you have been taught, why don't you go outside and share? Is not something you're going to contaminate somebody with it if you do it the right way. But usually when they come around me, I lose energy instead of being given. While my intentions are hospitality, friendship, trying to learn more. I'm very curious about these things. Why does it go the wrong way when what they are taught is supposed to be very positive and giving is not difficult. Because if all these people which have gone through these trainings and they have the experience, start freely teaching what you know and share it to somebody else to bring them to the same level without, again, the wrong intentions and stealing. Because that's where we keep on going wrong. And that's what Mr. Kesh keeps on going in all these teachings. If you pull a red line, he says, they're only here to steal. Which is shocking to me because we are not here to steal, we are here to give. The more we can give, the more we can go forward. I'm always there to give a hand, to help, to support. I don't know what's wrong with that. So if you claim you have all these diplomas and you have all this experience, why don't you make the step of fear beside you and realize you can do and do? I can do to a certain point because I taught myself how to see my own plasma field on my hands. I've seen how then I can project it to see the plasma field on plants. And then I made this next step to go and see the plasma field of the trees. And then suddenly out of nowhere, I can start seeing the plasma field from people. I don't ask for it. I don't use it because to me, I don't need it. I just know I can do it. But to use it is no purpose for me. But to teach to somebody else to understand what the plasma is, you can see it on your own body. You can see it from the plants. You can see it from animals and people. What the Chinese in the teaching just now showed was the pictures and the colors of the aura. These are different plasma fields. And somebody from an ashram, I think I posted it on my Facebook, got the same question. Can you please explain what is aura? He said, let me think about it. And then he came with a very beautiful answer. He said, ignore plasma, ignore the aura, ignore the colors, and all these things, he says, because that's not important. What is important is the core inside the person, because that's where your real energy is, and where you have to go and tap into and look at, because that's the reality. So these are just tools for you to understand that you're capable. Because I've seen somebody quite a few weeks or months even ago, he puts his hand in front of the camera on the internet, and you can see his hands going transparent. So he is reaching the state of transparency by just increasing his energy level. Those people should start coming forward who are capable of doing this, because I know you can go completely transparent and you're not disappearing, you're just in a different state, and you can come back. You can walk in and you can walk back. And what I have understood from all the teachings from Mr. Kesh is that we all can travel without losing anything. The way I stand here in front of you is I can just become transparent. And because of my transparency, I do not carry what we say, the stealing, the negativity, the wrong things. So you can achieve, all of you. And the ones who have been taught should start teaching. I don't understand why is there so much fear of sharing this knowledge. It's not because you carry a diploma. There is no secrecy with it, not as far as I know, unless it's used for the wrong purpose. So that person would not come forward because I don't understand. Why not? And I understood there's only one thing in this answer is fear. Because you all can do it. We can all do it. And we can, by becoming true in this level, we can reach other people to become in this level too. Very easy. Because through my postings in Messenger, those informations are already there for a very, very long time. And it's the second time I'm bringing it forward because it teaches you step by step what is holding you back to achieve that level, which is those problems, those thoughts, which I say, just lock the door. Don't throw the key away. Just put it aside and say, when I have an answer, I'll sort it out. You don't need to lose your energy on something you cannot sort out today. You don't need to worry about something you can't sort out now. Just hold your energy to the level that you can use it to what I understood to become transparent, which means unconditional sharing and loving. You don't need any materialistic things anymore because you carry everything with you. Whatever you desire, you can carry with you because you bring it to your level and then it goes with it. And I wish a lot of people, I had a lot of response this time. The first time I didn't have so many responses to it. But I hope the people which have responded that they are capable, that they are bringing it in the open. Do you have any more questions, Sandy, please?
Thank you, Carolyn. I'm really wishing you so much success with your love in drawing these people out to get them to step by their fear. Your sincerity and your true compassion for all, I hope, is enough energy for them to come out and be transparent.
The funny thing is, Sandy, they have tapped into the energy. They have done it. They know. The only call I'm trying to do is for them to come and share it and teach others. They know how this energy works. It's not a secret.
But if it's just a fear, why can't they step through that? If they have the knowledge of the energy, why don't they use the knowledge of the energy to overcome the fear?
Because the society has not accepted it in so many ways.
Could it be a sort of an how to say, a stage of the soul? Could the soul just be too young to understand its position and its true power to step through?
I don't think so. I think it's why do so many people from the West, usually we call them hippies, or people which don't fit in the Western society, why do they go and seek this in the East? They are on a journey to find it because they're looking for it.
Yes, I do believe it's an inbred need for a balance.
No, it's like a quest because here is not available. Not in that way because they are more ahead of us. They know how to do it. China is beautiful. They carry all the knowledge. They even are far ahead of us. But in a different way, they know exactly where your energy lies, or they know exactly how to tap into it. But it's like something, maybe the language barrier. I don't know.
Okay.
The stories I heard from people going to India to find, on their quest to find this, is that when they arrive there, they are not getting taught the way they should. So they only get partially of it. Because it's like, how can you say? I can only call it like a sect because it's protected. And you can't take the essence out of it because it's like a secret. But this planet, humanity will need not to keep it as a secret, but to open it up. That everybody can start using it and applying it the way it should be. Because it's already there. Western people have a huge problem because of they never been told they can. They never been confirmed they have confidence. They, in so many ways, don't get the time to spend much time on their spirituality, as they call it. So a lot of people try to escape to these parts of the world to learn to become peaceful. But I don't need to go to India. I just sit in my garden. I know what time of the sun I need, in the morning or in the evening, with preferably blue sky, and you can start teaching yourself in a very simple way just by concentrating, wanting and giving. And it appears in front of you. So I don't need to go to a yoga teacher. I don't need to go to another teacher. I find it myself and I can apply it and I can teach it very easy to other people because it's not difficult. It's like getting a PhD is very difficult, but in a way it's not. Becoming a professor, because of the language they create, they show it so difficult that you don't want to make the step because you think you're not capable. But Mr. Kish just explained what you carry inside. You carry 4 reactors. You carry the essence of light. You just need to know how to unlock it by being correct. Not by trying to, as he keeps on repeating, which actually hurts me because stealing. Wanting to possess something that doesn't belong to you. Wanting more than what you're given. You shouldn't. Be aware of your own goodness. And you can find the information in what I shared. Apply it, try it, you will see, wow, I can see the color of a plant. And it has that color. And if I go to this plant, I can see this color. If I look at that person, I can see that kind of light. Without forcing, without trying to abuse. So we all can do it. You just need to know you can. And this is our gift of our travel to go. Our love and our caring. Remember that. You can. You can. Everybody can. And I hope when we go to the next building, I will see a lot of happy faces instead of, you can. Take the energy there and you will create. Be ready for the day we open it up. And I can talk for hours, but I shouldn't.
Oh, don't stop. I enjoy it.
Beg your pardon?
I love hearing the female voice up there.
I just hope I don't put you to sleep.
No, no.
You can do it, Sally. Try it. Everybody can do it.
Yes.
I'm going to pinch that from you. Okay, I'm going to take this off because let me explain why, and Caroline and a lot of people go to it to become transparent. We keep on saying the more you give, the more you receive. Do you understand how it works? In the Chinese section, I just explained it. If this is your magnetical, which is giving, and this is your gravitational field, which is taking, gravitates. The more you give, which is give away, the more you open the field of gravity to receive. That's simple. And the more you receive, the stronger the mass becomes, that you have more to expose to receive more. That's simple it is. So when you give the intention to serve universal community, the more you're exposed to receive from the dimension you're not aware of. So then it's very easy to create a spaceship for any dimension in the universe. If you understand this, and the unconditional give to humanity is love. When you love someone, when you love your child, you give unconditionally. It doesn't matter what he does, because this is your job. This is how you're born to be. So the more you give of a lower strength, the more gravitational field to attract to receive is available. This is then becomes what we call, you become transparent. If you put that level in that level, because you receive enough to become transparent. Because you're only aware of the field when you have a different imbalance. When you become imbalanced, you are of the same. So when we talk about giving and taking and loving, all it means, we open the channel to give. And then you find out how much you open up, the more you give. Because the more fields are available for you to receive. You gravitate, because now the other fields, which have their essence in giving, they give of the higher strength of them, because now they are there to engage with what you released for giving. And you see, so easy. So you cannot lose, you always win. Then you wish to be part of bigger society to serve human society has a limitation. The spaceship is a terminology for joining a higher order. Why do you want to go from home to school? To get educated, to elevate your knowledge. Why does man is in the process of entering universal community? Because now is ready to learn more. Because is learn more, you can share more. If any of you understand this process, you have entered the realm of creation. Because then you decide what you want to create in according to justice and correct conduct. So when next time you start thinking about creating a plasma, teaching, the more you teach, the more you receive. Because when you share, you openness the receiving of the totality from every aspect. When we teach here, we don't open to the humanity, we open to universal community. And that's what it counts. This morning or today, I explained in a very, very easy way how, as a human race, when you go into space, in every part of the universe, We are connected to each other through the amino acid connection. One feels in danger or something is wrong in a condition, the rest of you across the universe feels. But on the other hand, as I explained this morning, you itself, the earth and the human being of it, was created from the totality of the universal community. That's how it came to be, because that's what it came to stand. So now you are connected to universal community. The more you give, the more you elevate to the next step to understand the next level. A lot of you look for the space travel. In time, you'll understand. Only thing you learn from me is the elevation of the soul to the realm that you decide, due to your interaction, where you want to be in anywhere in the universe. So, as I said this morning in the teaching, you have the blood, you have the lymph, and you have what they call the current or nerves. And the flow of the plasma of the emotion which carries the blood to physicality, which is in the lymph, decides what is going to be where. A cell of a heart, as we said this morning, or a cell of a nail. So now, as we explained, in the universal condition, the gravitational magnetic field of the plasma of the universe is your lymph. The emotion is your intention. And the difference between the two, if you can direct it the right way, instead of being a cell in the nail at your tip of your toe, there'll be a point in a water physicality in a space. Because then you manifest yourself as the being at that point, what was. The only difference is you replace the body of the man with the body of the universe. There is no difference. You dictate the point of manifestation. You dictate the way you want to manifest. You want to manifest transparent as a lymph, or you want to be a transparent as the cell which creates the retina of your eye, that it becomes transparent enough that the light goes through it, that through it you can understand your environment. So man, if he's looking for transparency, has already learned it. When you look to the eye of a man, you see through his face, through his emotion, because you see through his soul, through his eye. So man already knows in his gene how to be transparent. That's what Caroline was speaking. If in your eye there wasn't a transparent issue, no light would have gone through that you could see. It's you to understand how transparent you become, that you allow the totality of the light of the man to pass the body embodiment of the physicality. Then you decide where and how you manifest yourself. As I said in the teaching of this morning, what you call a spaceship is for those who understand this level of understanding of physicality. If you understand the order of correct conduct, you do not need a ship or any form to travel the span of the universe. So, do we need health, medical care in space when you know how to control everything yourself through the strength of the plasma, through your thoughts, which, as we said in the Chinese teaching, your emotion in connection with your soul has already dictated your physicality, because the physicality led to the creation of the emotion and the soul itself. It's not teaching control of physicality, what you call health. It's teaching the exact amount of emotion to lead to the creation of the physicality the way you want, if You want to be physical. So this goes back to the same thing. You add to the plasma of your magnetical, you become, because this is your physicality. That's how you manifest in respect to outside. If you want to be less of, you go back. And you can always add through your energy to become transparent or non-transparent. In respect to the environment which you are operating. In space technology, you learn this. I've spoken this before. You're there, you can be seen. If you create the wrong strength, you'll be more visible. If you create the right strength, as there is no friction between your gravitational magnetic field and the environmental magnetic field, there is no manifestation. There is no physicality. We are aware of the existence of the Earth in respect to Sun because the gravitational magnetic field of the Sun, when it interacts with the gravitational magnetic field of the Earth, being of two different strengths, creates a friction, we see the light. If we make these two the same, there is no interaction, no visibility. You'll never see the Earth till you hit it. Now you know how to make yourself invisible. Now you know how to make yourself visible. Understanding that you have to create that what we call equal gravitational magnetic field between the two, because this is MAGRAPH. If your MAGRAPH is equal to the MAGRAPH of this, there is no interaction, there is no friction, there is no transparency. There is nothing to see, totally transparent. This is how you can see through and across the universe, because the fields are all in balance. So there is no friction. Very small residual is in the book number 3, or number 2, the structure of the light. That the balance or near balance of the magnetic gravitational field of the universe gives us enough light that it creates but transparency that we can see through it. So you can do the same. Create enough, release enough, and you can control it with your emotion, nothing else. Because you, through your emotion in the center, decide how much you release that at the point of interaction, what appears. If this appearance at this point can lead with a cancer in your lung, you just need to move a little bit higher or lower in emotion. The interaction does not take place. No physicality, tangibility. This is what I said. Within seconds, you can release any illness, because all you do with the intention, you release into the whole field of existence. You change the envelope of the whole structure. Only cancer can be if the environment allows it in interaction with itself to exist. If you change the environment, it cannot exist. If you desire to leave the physicality, I cannot stop you. But his desire is to be physical and be here. You can always change the wish, the emotion, and with it will change the structure. You can point it out. I've said in all the teaching, for this structure to be inside you or outside you. And if you can do it outside you, then you can position it the way you like. If physicality of acceptance to use a spaceship, you build your system. The only way you do this is to give unconditionally, and the unconditional is what I create is a purpose of serving and not to be served. And that's what maybe for the first time you understand what we've written under the Cash Foundation. We are here to serve, not to be served. Because when you serve, the more you give, and by giving, the more you receive. That with that, you can change the strength that you can give more to reach the level of the Creator. Then there is no illness in space. No one in space dies of illness except man. Because you have chosen a specific strength of gravitational magnetic field which attach itself to the emotion. In space, everyone dies. Accident or decision to terminate, to give to the others that I do not want to have any. We don't die in space because we are ill with cancer. We terminate a life because what we do, we convert the whole of our gravitational into magnetical, which means we only give for the others to exist, and that's the termination of life. You decide to stay 1 million years or 10,000 years is your decision. When you feel you reach the point of maturity that you can give the totality, you decide to let the spring go. That's it. And then you find out through it, you create new life. I made man to the image of myself. And then you understand one of the 99 attributes of the Creator is to be generous, to be forgiving, and to be the giver. Because by giving from the totality leads to creation of new structure, new life. But then through it, it creates the same structure, because once you give, you have to take. This is what we say, the more you give, the more you receive. Then you decide the point of physicality. Maybe for the first time, man understands some of the attributes of God through the operation of the plasma. You are afraid of dying on this planet, where in space we give to have no existence that will lead to creation of more. And here, because you're afraid of dying, you die of it because you want to hang on to all of it. And unfortunately, all is not good enough. This is what say unconditional love. It means to release that. Where you release the interaction of the fields of different strength of giving leads to creation of another life, another plasma, another existence, and further the purpose of serving the universal community. Maybe for the first time you understand. When you hear, I made man in the image of myself, it means I've given the totality for creation of more to be able to give. Any question? You never die, ever die in a space of any disease. Disease is a pitfall man, which is connected to his amino acid, and his greed to take more. Any questions?
I have a question, Mr. Kesh.
Who's speaking?
Brett.
Oh, hi, Brett. You're still alive.
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Nice to hear you.
Can't kill me yet. I have work to do.
Oh, I tried to save you long enough, boy. You brought me nightmares.
My question is, what happens when parents use a surrogate mother to have a child? What kind of issues arise when that happens?
Pardon?
When parents have a surrogate mother birth their child?
Doesn't matter. The love of the creation is there. Doesn't matter if you're born on Earth, on Mars, or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the blood from the surrogate mother, the emotion transfers to the child, or the
So that's your condition. What's the difference between a Rolls Royce, a Mini, and a motorbike? It still takes you from A to B. Physicality of the body is for carrying the soul, nothing to do how it's done.
but can the emotional issues from the DNA and RNA be transferred to the child to the surrogate?
So that's what you are. You're a Rolls Royce with 2 cylinders. What's the difference? You still work.
All right.
This is the excuses for those who find a way not to give or find they are slightly different to give. I remember I was 6 years old, and there was only one school in the whole north of Tehran. So we had to attend it. There was no other way to go to school. And this school, I didn't know at that time till after 6 months in the school. Half of our children, half of my classmates were all orphans because there was an orphanage few kilometers, and this was the only school. But they never told no one they are orphans. They came in with the love to play. They were there. We never knew. Only the principals and headmasters knew that most of these children around us were orphans. They loved the same, they played the same, and most of my memories of my childhood with them were so beautiful. Till when we went for New Year celebration, which is 21st of March, and the party was held in the orphanage. And then I stood on the podium. There's a picture of it somewhere in my family. I was one of the top students, so the top students were given prizes. A little boy, 6-year-old, getting a prize. When I looked at that picture years later, most of the people standing next to me were orphans, but never changed anything. The way we cared, the way we played. So it's you who decides which environment you are or you want to be. Otherwise, the God is blind to the total beauty of the man. It's the man who decides what he wants to do with it. Some of these students, for years, we've been in touch with, even when I finished the school. Because then I realized one of the most closest friends of mine was an orphan. And to me, it was meaningless. How could you have not to have a father? We got to understand the condition comes from us and nobody else. It's us who creates the conditions. And when we can control the conditions to be unconditional, you'll find out there is no condition except us. And this is your problem. Any questions? I wish I could read that Chinese. What does that say in Chinese? Pardon? Is it still from Chinese workshop? No, still flashing is there.
No, it shouldn't be on.
Oh yeah, it is from Chinese workshop. He never changed the live stream. I still would like to know what it says. It's a beautiful language. Any questions, or shall we call it a day? I think there's a lot of soul searching going on. One of your biggest problems in trying to be transparent is one question. And that is your biggest question. And it will stay one of the man's biggest dilemmas. And that is very simple. Maybe I can put it in words. Do I love enough to be a creator? Because when you love, it means you give unconditionally. By giving unconditionally, you receive so much that you don't want to be the only thing to take, but you give, and with it, it comes the decision of you to give to the totality. If you understand this, you have completed maturity of the life. And if you don't understand it, you can carry on, be worried about the food of tomorrow and the pancake of the next day, or if you wear a clothing. This is what Caroline goes on it, and we explained it so many times. Love means to give unconditionally. And by giving unconditionally, as I explained, if you haven't understood it, means if in a physical term, or I should have done it the other way because you're used to it, to understand it, not to confuse those, is this. Go back on the same thing. If it, as you give unconditionally, you open yourself to give so much that in so many ways there is nothing but to take because you're given, and you find out your giving becomes your taking, and that is to give, and that's how you end life in the universe. We give so much that we take so much, and only leaves one condition to give, and that's exactly what love means. Then what it is, to give the totality.
This is Denny.
Yes, Danny.
Hello, Mr. Kesh.
Where are you from, Danny?
I'm from the U.S. I live in Idaho.
Yes.
After you've given everything, does that include the soul?
That's the only thing you give, because then the soul gives the emotion and the physicality. Doesn't mean you go on the street and give your house and your curtains and the car. When you give from your soul, because the soul is the foundation of the creation of the emotion and the feeder of the physicality, so you have no fear. Because the other souls accommodate you. Even if you try to commit suicide through your soul, you find out the other souls which are not prepared to receive will stop you from it. Because it means we don't want to take. You can make it available. But if I'm not taking, you can't give. That's why the universe is a peaceful place. Everybody takes as much as they need. That's why it can last a long time. Go back on what we just taught half an hour ago in the Chinese session. How the soul works, how the emotion is created from the physicality. And that's why maybe what just Brad said, I wonder, are you, Brad, one of those that you ask such a question? Or
No,
do you feel that way?
no,
Pardon?
I was watching a TV show last night and a question popped in my head.
Ah, you on your television and popping in the head. Too many things pops in your head. Your head and the popping in is a big commotion for me sometimes. Oh, you're gonna teach us anyway. You become a teacher.
You have to see and watch.
One day we learn. You have two entities, an egg and a sperm, lead to creation of a new life. Its condition is preset. If you have foster parents, if you have another womb which brings you up, the essence was there when you started. All it is change of environment, which with it will interact and create a new environment for existence. Now, your lucky part is you not only have two, now you're part of three, which means you receive more than your share. A lot of people then wish they were fostered people who would have been fostered somewhere else. Maybe in halfway after 3 months, they change the womb to another one to have more of others, because then you receive more. A child goes to his mom. This is a true story. Caroline knows it. She starts laughing. And she says to his mom, just before Christmas, says, Mom, why don't you and Dad divorce? The mother says, why? Why should we divorce? He says, most of my friends, their parents are divorced. They get 2 Christmas presents. I get only 1. So why don't you want to be more divorced parents, more fosters, that you get more and more and more? In a way, is greed of a child. On the other hand, it shows the state of the man. Wanting more, even if it brings suffering of separation to the parent. Self-centeredness. Any other question? That's my purpose. Till that day, I have to teach. And when some of you get enlightened to reach the level of messengers of God, then you will teach. You got to realize something which is very different, and a lot of you have not realized. Those who teach around the Keshe Foundation as teachers, now that we have opened, because you're sharing the knowledge, the enlightenment, the way the prophets of the past have done, unconditionally, I've seen you teaching, you have already reached the level of the prophets of the past in sharing of the knowledge and the soul. So you have already been elevated. As Caroline said, if your fear was not to teach or be afraid of teaching, it means your soul is not ready to reach that level of what you call prophets. The structure is not to create, as I said, a new religion. The structure is set to create, as we said, one nation, one planet, one race. And to be that, it means to have people who are conditioned to give from their souls for the rest to become one. And that's the attributes of the prophet of God. So we don't teach and we don't bring one prophet, which means sharing of the knowledge unconditionally. Those who are chosen and share unconditionally have already been given the gift of past. Any other question? No, why? It means to exist in more. It means you haven't understood yet. You don't die. You miss the point. You miss the bus. Get off and get back on again. I'll explain to you where you missed the bus. Some of you understood.
I didn't get that question on live stream. Let me just repeat it for live stream. Dying to give others life in the universe, does it mean to be out of existence, was the question.
Yes, and I said no. It means you didn't understand the teaching. What I just said. If this is the structure of your totality, including your soul and your emotion and your physicality, as I explained, the more you give, the more you receive. And in the structure of the universe, what does it mean? Comes to the point when you're given so much that you receive nothing but receiving. And in receiving, you can not only exist because you need the balance. So you're released as totality to become the givers. And so what happens? You disappear as one, but manifest as many. I made God in the image of man, in the image of myself, and is in the writing. I made man to create children to love me, that I can spread my love across the universe. Now you see what it means. There's now more of you. Children without sex, through the love of God. And when I said that to somebody, they couldn't understand. Maybe they understand. Physicality is the problem of the man. These are the children of the soul of the universe, not physicality. If they decide in one point to manifest themselves in respect to their environment, that's their problem. That's their choice. Because at that point, they decide to give. And then you understand maybe how creation exists on this planet like that. Even it looks accidental. Would you like to be on planet Zeus? This is what you have to understand. And this is where the man is trapped on this planet in the village of the earth. There. But the process carries on in the rest of the universe as it stands. Everything is in there. You don't need a system. Understand something very, very interesting. You can change the structure of your existence from giving to taking only. And that's stealing. And that's what you find you be imprisoned in your own structure. And this is part of the problem, which is habitual to the matter state at the point of materialist condition, and not in the universal. Only when they don't understand the beauty of God. If you understand the condition is to give, you find out it's done. This is a discussion I had past few days that I explained in the teaching today in a very soft way. Now you understand this, that you can give more, and the more you give can come to the point that you number of people to attend the ambassadorial meeting in Rome. Number of seats has been allocated. We increased the numbers by 50 in the past few days. Now we allow people from different nations to attend, to be part of this time of the change. And please send your emails. It will be announced on the Keshe Foundation forum. We only accept, as I mentioned, number of nationalities that we have the representation of the whole human race. We already have enough Iranians, we have enough Americans, we have enough Chinese. We can do with a few more if they're around, they want to attend. We have enough of the people from Germany, Austria, French, and Bulgarians and Romanians. So if you are of different and we can clear you and you're given a coded pass, you can attend. You cannot walk in to be able to be in the functions. You have to have even the cameraman, even the members of the Keshe Foundation who are present, all carry the same kind of pass. If it's not there, you will not be allowed, doesn't matter who you are. You receive a coded, we leave those who will receive the coded message at 6 o'clock in Rome. Their place of the function will be released, and security is extremely tight because of the presence of the ambassadors. I think, what do you call it? Giovanni has made sure of that. We have armed officers of the Italian police force for protection of the ambassadors, and the same has been arranged by the hotel themselves for security reasons. They are well rehearsed, they hold, and their world presence to stay in the hotel. They know the procedure extremely well, as they explained to me. So unless you receive a coded invitation and you have to carry your paper with you printed, then your passport should read exactly the same as the name you put on. And one thing, no Belgian nationals will be allowed. That's for protection of our lives and the rest of the people, not to trust. So if you are from anywhere, like to be present, send your request. And if you are responded to and you carry the code, and make sure everything is exactly as you put. A word out in your passport, we will not let you in. So now you can be part of the function. In this presentation, you will hear a new course for Keshe Foundation. You will hear new understanding of the system. We will show different things in respect to the system that you understand. We don't only provide power unit, but there's a change of course in the total structure of the power or energy for human race. Thank you very much for your time. We hopefully see you on Thursday.